And away we go. It is the Nightcap, brought to you by Hail Mary Sports Bar right here on BearcatJournal.com. Hail Mary's located in Cheviot. They're on Harrison Avenue, right in the Dora District, on the main drag. You can walk from bar to bar with your drinks, but why would you do that when you can hang out at Hail Mary's? They've got 27 TVs, a 9-screen video wall. There's not a bad seat in the house. They subscribe to every sports package that DirecTV offers. They can stream all the games, and Cincinnati sports will always be on the video wall. They don't have a kitchen, but they have food trucks on the weekends and randomly throughout the week. The draft lines are new. The walk-in cooler is new. And not only do they pour the coldest beer in town, but they do so in 32.8-degree frosted glasses. All right, let's get this show on the road. Aaron, how was Orlando?
Orlando was fine. It really didn't look like a hurricane had gone through it. It looked like it just had been a rain. A pretty good rain.
Like a bad storm, yeah.
That's it.
I mean, it rolled through there in like an hour. Like that thing was humming.
At least what I had seen. I know the news was showing some different scenes from
areas
around the city, but everything I saw looked fine. The only thing that was scary at any point in time was when the plane jumped after we landed. It bounced before. I didn't like that. It came in kind of. It was doing. We were not.
Did you have to pay extra for that?
Oh no, I had to pay extra for the extra 4 inches on my book bag. $70 for a checked bag fee. Didn't fit in their little metal box. It got an airline that's half full, and I got to pay $70 for a book bag. Fuck out of here.
How do you really feel?
Yeah.
All right. It was once again a wild week in the Big 12, Aaron. This league, we've done this 2 years in a row now, where we talk about like, okay, like the schedule is easy because of this, or the schedule is difficult because of that. The schedule was quote unquote difficult or easy because they didn't play Utah, they didn't play Arizona, they didn't play Oklahoma State, they didn't play BYU. Utah's 1-2, Arizona's 1-2, Oklahoma State's 0-3, and Kansas is 0-3. And of course, BYU, Iowa State, and Texas Tech are the 3 undefeated teams in the league. It's so stupid.
What are you going to do?
It's such a stupid league. I mean, it literally, the margins are razor thin, and it really is week to week. Like you cannot look at 1 week and say, okay, I'm going to predict next week based on what happened last week, because every week, feels like everything gets turned upside down.
I agree. And I mean, I feel like even Cincinnati, you could put Cincinnati in that same conversation. I'm sure people were looking at Cincinnati saying, sure, oh, we have Cincinnati on the schedule. They're going to be an easy out. And Cincinnati has not made it easy for anybody.
I mean, the only, like, Houston was picked near the bottom of the conference. They're 1-2. But like BYU was picked low. Yeah. That one, Sonny's gonna Sonny. Arizona State was picked last. They're 2-1. Cincinnati was picked near the bottom. They're 2-1. It's just
Oklahoma State was
goofy league.
Picked near the top and 0-3.
Yeah. I mean that, the teams that are 0-3, like Baylor, I guess, is the one exception.
We knew who Baylor was.
Right. But Kansas was supposed to be good. They're not. Oklahoma State was supposed to be good. They're not. TCU is supposed to be good. They're not. UCF is supposed to be good. They're not. Arizona and Utah, I mean, I guess you can chalk it up to change in leagues, but
Utah was supposed to win everyone was saying Utah was supposed to win the league. Come on.
Here's a secret from watching that game that we're about to talk about right now. I don't know that Cam Rising's any good anymore. Speaking of, Friday night.
There's a trend in the league in that regard.
You're supposed to be good in your 7th year. Like, you've had time to marinate, but that kid's not even Mormon, and he's in his 7th year of college.
Look, there are several players now. We need to put on milk cartons. I think it's time. Cam Rising, you are officially on the milk cart.
He was 16 of 37 for 209 yards and 3 interceptions. Arizona State 27, Utah 19. I mean, it was close in the first half, but I never felt like Arizona State wasn't in control of this game.
I feel like the final score is not indicative of. I'm with you. I don't think the final score is indicative of how the game actually flowed. I read up a little bit on it, but yeah, it doesn't seem like the score tells the story.
I mean, I didn't make it all the way through. I went to bed in the fourth quarter and didn't even cross my mind that like Utah might be the winner when I woke up. Like that's just,
Scatabo is a dude.
Yeah.
He is 22 of 158 for 2 touchdowns in this game. Their head coach, I don't recall what his name is. I know he's an alumni of Arizona State.
Yeah.
He's fun. He just was like one of the kids almost, the way that the crowd rushed the field and he's jumping around with them, telling the sideline reporter, like, no, you need to go talk to Scatabo. He's the one you want to talk to, not me.
And then he just like bounced into the night and he got swallowed up by the crowd. That was one of the smoothest moves ever. He was like, This is great. And then he just kind of like the Homer Simpson into the bushes. He just vanished. He just vanished. They're legit, dude. I
told you.
I've watched them a little bit. I haven't watched them a ton. Their passing game is better than I have given it mental credit for. You knew their running attack was good, but it felt like if you could slow down the run, that you could kind of get at them. But it feels like as the season
UCF.
Right. As the season has progressed, it feels like their passing game has continued to improve. So and their defense is very good. So it's gonna be a good one. I think Saturday at noon in the friendly confines of Nippert Stadium. That is if you would have looked at a game, if it would have been pick one game out of the Big 12 schedule before the season, and I'm talking about all the games, that would have just been like the most like nondescript game on the schedule. It probably Arizona State at Cincinnati would have been real high on that list. And
Cincinnati, go ahead. I was just gonna say Cincinnati opens up as 2.5-point favorites. Over under on that one's 53.5.
Now, yeah, this is the winner of this game is going to be 3-1 in the Big 12.
Crazy.
We'll have obviously a ton more on that as the week goes on. But I hat tip to you, Arizona State. The only thing I'll say, Aaron, I thought there was a good chance that they got ranked, and they did not. I was outside the top 25.
I was a little perplexed with it. I knew they were going to receive votes. We talked about that even last night, I think. But yeah, you're always 1 week away.
But they came from as far back in the pack as you could come to get into the top 25. They're in a 16-team league that were picked 16th.
And when you are finished to pick, you're picked to finish last, you are not going to get respect from the voters. They're still waiting to see, right? Even if you beat ranked Utah with a shell of Cam Rising. Well, he's on the milk carton. I don't know if he was there or not. But yeah, you're still not going to get that love.
Yeah, but I think they'll be able to use that this week as motivation, Aaron. Like we're still not getting the respect that we deserve, even at 5-1. Like nobody loves us. So
Nippert's going to be a tough test.
It's going to be interesting.
Back
the time clock thing will be maybe the most interesting part, the internal clock, because it's going to be 9 a.m. for them.
I thought you meant the mysterious runoffs that we get from time to time throughout a game.
Hey, it worked in our favor this time.
Every game. That's apparently our thing now. I don't want it to be our thing. I don't want that to be our thing.
Oh, boy. Iowa State, 28-16 over West Virginia. it was close early, but then the more and more the game went on, the more and more it was clear Iowa State is they're the best team in this league, I think. I mean, we'll discuss BYU here in a moment, but they're impressive, man. That's what gives me continuously gives me hope for this defense as they get used to the system and they improve, because it has been proven over 8 years that that defense works in this league, and it continues to work, and they look really good. Garrett Green looked like out of the gate looked like he was going to do some damage yesterday, but Iowa State fixed it. Whatever was not working, they fixed it, and they get a comfortable win in Morgantown over the Mountaineers.
Iowa State's offense not impressive in this one to me, anyway. Sure, you end up putting up a total of 28 points in the game, but only 130 yards rushing, only 265 through the air with 1 touchdown for Rocco Becht. Nothing jumps off the page for me there. They are a defensive team. They are a team that will win or die by what their defense is able to do. And right now, their defense is running on full cylinders.
Yeah, they're impressive to watch. I mean, I was kind of flipping around, but that was kind of the game I had on, the majority of the time last night. And they're tough. They're physical. They're not afraid to lay the wood on you. And right now, I think they've got themselves, strongly positioned as the best team in the conference. The team that's right there knocking on that door, though, BYU, 41-19 over Arizona.
Sheesh.
They kind of, their numbers never look great. Like, their leading rusher had 65 yards. Their leading pass catcher had 86 yards. But they turn you over and they take advantage. Like, it doesn't feel like they don't play with their food, right? They had 4 turnovers, they get points. Like we saw against remember the Kansas State game, 31 points in 6.5 minutes. Like, if you're going to screw up, they're not going to stall out at the 15-yard line and miss a field goal. They're getting 7. And they put pressure on you that way. Their stats don't look great. Like, there's nothing on paper that says this team should be in the position they're in, but they keep doing work.
I am all the way out on whatever Arizona was at the beginning of the season. I don't know how they were ranked. I don't know what anybody saw in them for them to be ranked. And I got to think right now, they're reeling. That said, BYU it's not just Provo and the atmospheric pressure, whatever you want to call it up there, the air quality. It's not just that. They are just actually good. And until they get beat, this team is, I think, right up there with anybody in the country, not just the league.
Here's the interesting part, Aaron. They don't play Iowa State. They've got Oklahoma State, UCF, Utah, Kansas, Arizona State, and Houston is what they've got left on their schedule.
Well, unless Texas Tech decides to have a word, they very well might play Iowa State for a championship.
Yeah. Because that's manageable. Like, there are a couple, the Holy War, BYU and Utah is going to be a battle no matter what.
Sure.
But if they get through that, like, every other game is pretty winnable for BYU.
Both BYU and Iowa State are the only 2 teams in the conference that have less than 100 points scored against them.
Defense still wins, even in an offensive-dominated era of college football. If you can go out and hold teams to 17, 20 points, you're going to win far more often than not. And then finally, Aaron, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Colorado's good. Like, whatever happened last year and how they looked at the beginning of this year, they went toe-to-toe last night with Kansas State. It felt like they were going to win until Avery Johnson hits a bomb, like, late. I that game, Cincinnati's got maybe one of the toughest 2-game stretches in the conference coming up here that nobody would have guessed. Arizona State at home, Colorado on the road over the next 2 weeks. But Travis Hunter was out. His dad played in the NFL. The other wide receiver.
Shadur?
No. The other wide receiver.
Jimmy Horn.
Yeah, Jimmy Horn Jr. He was out. Do you know that? Travis Hunter and Jimmy Horn missed almost all of that game.
I didn't watch a second of this game, so no, I had no idea.
And Kansas State does hold on. They score, like I said, they get the late touchdown to ward off the Colorado comeback. Kansas State 31, Colorado 28. But that was an outstanding football game.
Look, Colorado's good, not great. I'm not ready to call them a great team. Great teams would have.
No, I didn't say they were great, but they came a long way from the mess that they were last year.
I'm agreeing with you. That said, I also don't think Kansas State is great. I think they're just good. I still don't believe in Avery Johnson. I think he hit on a fantastic pass, but I don't. 15 of 23 for 224, 2 touchdowns and a pick.
With what, 75 on that one play?
That's a good quarterback, not a great quarterback. It was 50. The long was 50 to Jace Brown.
Felt longer for some reason, but
even still, that's 50 of your 224. So that's
175 before that.
1/7 of your yardage or something like that. I don't know. 2 7s.
Whatever. You get the point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
2 ninths. There it is.
It is. They are 2 teams that I picked Kansas State to go to the conference championship. That is not looking as likely as it was a couple weeks ago, but
they're in the hunt. They're not out of it by any stretch.
These 2 teams are going to have a say in who plays in Dallas in December. So yeah, it's another interesting weekend. I keep looking at these, like when we go into these bye week shows, like, are we going to have enough to talk about? And this conference always delivers. Oh, you've only got 4 games to talk about? Yeah, you're going to have 5 minutes on each game.
Next week we have 8 games to talk about. Full slate is this the first time we've had a full slate in conference? I think it is.
In conference, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. We're gonna have to. We're gonna have to do like the old Chris Berman, Tom Jackson speed round. Fastest 2 minutes in sports.
Boom, 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 boom.
Or it's going to be a 30-minute show, one of the two. But yeah, Texas Tech, BYU, and Iowa State, the 3 undefeated teams in the Big 12, just like everybody predicted. We'll see you tomorrow night. That is the Nightcap, brought to you by Hail Mary Sports Bar, right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya.